Yo guys, today I decided that I was gonna record some balanced Russia gameplay with some explanations of why I'm guessing where I am. As you probably know, I released a current season meta doc a few days ago, so I'll be making reference to that, and I'll probably link it in the description as well if you haven't seen it. But yeah, hopefully you can learn some region guessing stuff that wasn't included in the doc. Okay, first round. Before we check antenna or anything. Very flat, uh, very green. I mean, a little bit of hills, but this way is completely flat. Check the antenna. We see that it is B-type, which is confirmed by the presence of a smudge. You won't get smudges in very B-type, or any other antenna, uh, except, well, blurred and tilted, but it's not blurred or tilted. So yeah, very flat B-type. B-type is more of like, it's like this region. It's also this region and then also this region. This is kind of just road learning. Or like, yeah, but I can't really explain it, but it just looks like human. Uh, I mean, you can like line up roads in like this flat green area, but usually Yekaterinburg is more forested than this, even though we are somewhat forested. We're not super forested, and then Kurgan would have different antenna most of the time, and then it's too nice of a road for Chelyabinsk usually, and then this stuff is like you wouldn't get these like as much birch trees in this area, and then this area it's like there's very few roads with coverage, and the angle makes no sense for them. Yeah, well, this road, but doesn't really look like it and doesn't line up perfectly, so I think it's just going to be Tumen. Yeah, okay, that explains why. I would have sent Kurgan without the antenna meta, but I guess that explains why. But yeah. Okay. We've got pretty dry landscape, not many uh trees on the hills. Uh, Interesting shape. I would say it's quite indicative of some regions more than others. We have a blurred antenna, which would mainly be this area, but it's too dry for this, and then you get it in the Caucasus as well, which is where I presume we are. Uh, with these hills, I would presume it's like, can't really describe it, but they're not like massive mountains like you might like see south here. So I think maybe like uh one of these roads or like in here somewhere. But yeah, I'm just gonna go Cherkassk, not certain of where. Angle's a bit suspicious, but uh yeah, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, makes sense, this ridge here. I don't think where I went had a ridge north, oops. But yeah, those are the Cherkassk mountains here. Pretty distinct landscape. Pretty flat, the super long grass, quite indicative of this region. Then we've got these oak trees, which are in Russia pretty exclusive to Kaliningrad, especially in fall coverage. Usually you can get, well, sometimes you can get white painted rings on the trees, but we can't see them from this location. But yeah, just click middle here. It was east, but still nice enough to guess. Okay, here we've got hills like 2 rounds ago, but we've got like more trees on the hills, so probably less likely to be south, even though it's still possible. Uh, and we won't read yet, maybe later, but uh, with these like, just with like how the trees are on the hills, I'd associate it slightly more with the Altai Mountains more so than other ones. Also, the shape of the hills would feel a bit wrong for the Urals and doesn't feel like the southern hills either. but that's kind of just like you have to study the like once you see all the hills enough times, you'll get like a grasp of which hills are where and what shapes. This is also helped by the antenna, which is B-type, and B-type antenna will only like with mountains will only be Chelyabinsk, or it will be Altai's, so like Kemerovo will have some, and then this road, which is where I think we are, would have it as well. Where else could this be? B-type south, I don't think. You can get very B-type south in the mountains, but B-type in the mountains south doesn't exist, like normal B-type. So you're just left with these two, and then just feels more like this road to me. Does reading confirm? Yeah, it says .com/Altai, which is quite nice. So yeah, I'll just line up something in here, I suppose. That looks fine. One more down. Yeah, I suppose. Still nice though. Okay. Another pretty distinct round here. We've got, I know I mentioned like the oak looking trees in Kaliningrad, but these are like, they're kind of similar, but they almost look like oaks, but I'm not sure if they actually are. I don't really know the names of the trees, just like where they are found. But we've got like pretty poor road quality, quite overcast, quite hilly as well. We can't make out the cars perfectly, but they should be Japanese cars if we are where I think we are. So if we were moved slightly down the road, would be nice, but we don't really need that. So then just with the road through the hills with the poor road quality and overcast, you'd mainly think these roads in Primorsky Krai, which checks out with the white car, which is pretty common in Eastern Russia. Yeah, not much else to say about this round. Oh, it's super coastal. Okay. Yeah, I cannot region guess Primorsky for the life of me. Yeah, nice first seed. Okay, another pretty distinct round here, which is nice. Is this an Asian car? Yeah, I think it's a Toyota. I can't really make out where the steering wheel is, but that's not the most important thing here. So we've got very dry hills, which we saw southern earlier. But I don't think we're southern this time. Just like I don't know how to describe it, but like just the way the hills are is not really a southern thing. Like they're like when you're not in the massive mountains like these ones, like they're more ridges like we saw in this round. So we saw like a ridge here in the last location. But these are more like scattered hills, I would say. More than ridges. I mean they're somewhat ridgy, but not super ridgy. Then the pronounced B-type antenna, which is like Kurgan, which is pretty flat, the Russia border, the European border with Russia, so Smolensk, Bryansk, Kursk, etc., Tver, Pskov, Moscow, yeah. So them plus Kurgan, plus Krasnoyarsk and Khakassia, which is Abakhan Oblast. So with the hills, to me it makes sense to be this valley in here, like you can see, like a bunch of hills dotting the valley. So that's where I think we'd be. Two roads here of coverage. So the yellow one and this white one. Not sure which this is, but I mean, this sort of angle I thought was looking the best. A pretty straight road makes checks out. Curves to the north to the south. Which is a little bit concerning. I don't want to lose an oblast streak while getting the right road. So I'm gonna scan a little because that area is concerning me. Okay, so I mean maybe that looks better. I should probably be able to like tell because these Yeah, it doesn't really look like this area, but the angle just is good for it. So I guess it's here somewhere. Because it bends north slightly, which is nice. Can we see where it goes east? Not really, but that makes sense, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this also makes sense, yeah. But yeah, mountains here. Uh, yeah. 6 oblast streak, going well. Okay. Another pretty distinct looking round here. Uh, so I would say that this is quite similar to the round we had on this white road here. Like we have the same sort of hill shapes. We've got lots of tall trees in the hills. A bit more exposed rock, which is more indicative of this road rather than this road, but you still get it here. Then long antenna, so won't be this road like we had last time. So long antenna in the Altais would be this, 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 and this, as well as this, but that's in a valley. We can, like, it looks like this road to me, just with the rock, as I said, but we can also use the fact that we have 4 road lines. This road will only have 1 road line through the middle, it won't have outer lines. And then this road, you can use this if you want, but they look different anyway, so you don't have to use it. But this is driving south, and this is driving north. That also helps. And then also the overcast. I mean, you can get overcast on all 3 roads, but it would make more sense for this road. Yeah. Okay. 7th Street. Okay, another pretty distinct round here, which is nice. So we've got this like wide unpaved like well, it's not unpaved, but I don't know what this is. Uh, it's like unique pavement, I would say. We've got some very thin birch trees. I think these are the specific have the specific name of Ermin's birches, which are most common in Kamchatka, Sakhalin, and more of the east. They're just eastern trees mainly, but mainly Kamchatka, which also, looking at this massive mountain to the north, makes a lot of sense, as you can see. And then yeah, just line up the road, pretty distinct oblast. This lines up nicely. Okay. I thought it looked further north, but then the proximities of the mountains were a little bit off-putting for north. But yeah, we couldn't see this to the east either, which would have helped, but yeah. Still a nice oblast streak. Okay. We are getting a lot of distinct, well, not distinct, but recognizable, because this might look pretty generic, but the hill is the main distinguishing feature here. Vegetation, it's a bit weird because this is one of the most eastern roads that don't look particularly eastern, but like trees like this one look quite east to me. But the hill is the main thing that's giving an eastern vibe, as well as the soil. Might be an Asian car, but can't make it out. And Asian cars would put you like east of Novosibirsk for the most part. But yeah, we have a black car, even though this might look white because of the sun. Black car, long antenna, but it's a blurred antenna, which is also a really good clue for Eastern Russia, because when Eastern Russia isn't white car, it should be blurred black, and that's starting east of Chita. This is like all this road is blurred black car long antenna. This is black blurred, and then this area is white car. This is white car. This is white car, white car, white car. But then this road as well as Sakhalin are blurred. Blurred antenna, which is pretty useful. You can read about that in the doc as well. But just for as to where this is, it's kind of like a flat stretch of road with hills to the east, which to me makes most sense to be somewhere here, because you can see these hills to the east here. And this road has it. We don't really have any Sakhalin cabbage. Don't think this is cabbage. It looks somewhat similar, but no, it's not. And then yeah, super dark soil, super sunny coverage as well. Makes sense for here. And I don't see that off-road. So I guess we're not on this stretch of road, but maybe we're somewhere nearby. Oh, we were, but we just couldn't see it. Okay. Yeah, still a nice guess. Okay. This is an interesting round. Doesn't even look particularly Russian. Oh, we have signs. I won't read them yet, but that might save the Oblast streak potentially because this could be a hard round without signs. So we've got Gen 4 summer coverage with no care, even though the shadow might make it appear like there's a care there shouldn't be. What else do I have to say? Quite hilly. Yeah. So like Gen 4 summer coverage, it's mainly like north or east of north of like starting here, like north up here, Murmansk, Surgut area, and then a lot east of Tumen, you'll have more southern coverage like Omsk, Novosibirsk, Kemerovo, Krasnoyarsk all have summer, same with Irkutsk and Buryatia. But then in Western Russia, there's some black car stuff in Voronezh, but the trees don't really fit for Voronezh, a bit too much birches, I feel. Then with just how hilly it is and also the trees with summer coverage, Kazan would make the most sense because it's one of the hilliest oblasts with Gen 4 summer coverage, which would also be Nizhny Novgorod, Moscow, Tver, Veliki Novgorod, Leningrad, Perm and Chelyabinsk, which this could be Perm. Perm usually has antenna, same with Chelyabinsk, which is why I'm kind of ignoring them, but it's like 30% of the time or something you won't have antenna in those. Anything else to say here? Yeah, just the hills really and the trees. Reminding me of Kazan the most. So yeah, I guess I'll read the sign now. Okay, it looks like I can't read it. Actually, I think that might say Kazan. But something to note here is that this is a bilingual sign. Like, it looks like these are like the same words, but written in two scripts because they're very similar length. And they're like written on top of each other for seemingly no reason. So yeah, that would make sense with the Republic of Tatarstan, which is a bilingual republic in Russia. You can also see stuff like that in Ufa, Kazan, I think a few other oblasts in this area. This is quite common for bilingual. And then you can get like multiple scripted but not bilingual, so you can have some Latin script in Leningrad and Pskov. But yeah, I don't think this is them with how hilly it is. So yeah, I think this should confirm Kazan. As for a region guess, don't know. Most of like the hilly coverage is north of Kazan, but that's usually September coverage, and I think this is August. So then I'd be a bit more inclined to go a bit east. Oh, it was September, okay. Well, maybe it wasn't, but most of the north stuff is September. Still nice 23,000 point game. Kind of trolled this a little because I just didn't think about the angle, but still nice. 10 streak. Let's keep going. Okay. Interesting. So big, really big river southeast, or like I would think a river though. Mountains, all sides of us really, west, south, and east. We've got quite red soil, quite thin trees, which might imply we're north. They're not very tall trees either. Thin and short trees would be more of a northern thing. I think the steering wheel is on the left, which concerns me because I thought this was max east. But I might have to ignore that. Am I seeing the steering wheel correctly? Maybe I'm not. But that looks... I mean, that's a wiper and that's the steering wheel. I'm not certain. Wait. Yeah. But yeah, my initial vibe was just Komsomolsk. It makes sense with the big river, the Amur River, which flows... I think it's like most of the border. Is that... Yeah, it's the same river. I think it's most of the river. Like the border river. And then all the way here as well. So that was my vibe with the soil and how big the river was. White car also helped, and then the mountains, as you can see, you've got mountains on most sides, and right across the river you have mountains. So that all kind of checks out. then so river's southeast, and then we've got. I'm not even certain if it's here because the Japanese card concerned me, but I mean, angle looks decent. I mean, we won't be here because this is like a memorial complex, and this does not look very memorial complexy. But somewhere around here probably works nicely. Yeah, the angles still remain pretty decent. How close are we to the river, actually? We're not super close, but I'm pretty bad at judging distances. No houses on this road, but they might not be mapped in. Oh, no, they're pretty mapped well here. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna send. And it was. Ah, okay. Okay, I probably should have noticed this bit of land creeping up. But it was a lake, not the river, but basically the same thing. 11th Street. Okay. Another pretty distinct round here. This is turning out to be a nice run. So we've got very distinct looking mountains here. Very dry again, which we saw in the south. We've got like, I don't know if this is like what? Like, it looks almost like chalk or marble in like the lines, like through the thing, like through the hills. Which is quite a Turkesque thing. Which is, yeah, Cherkassk is, well, what's the name of the oblast? Something, Karachay-Cherkessia, yeah. So yeah, Karachay is here and Cherkessia is here. Cherkassk is here, but, yeah, it should be this oblast with these kind of mountains. Pretty 5K location. I might try because we're on a nice score and I don't want to, like, lose to spill over here or something. Or on the other side, where you can get similar mountains. But yeah, these mountains are quite Circassia. That's backed up by the blurred antenna, but on a round like this, you don't really need blurred antenna because the mountains are so distinct to me anyway. But that'll come with time. Okay. Thought maybe this road. Oh. Okay, so turned north to the west with a gas station, and north to the east. Okay. Well, it looks like a gas station. There's definitely buildings anyway. So probably not that. I mean, this looks pretty good. Okay, it wasn't a gas station. I guess that might not be a gas. That looks like a gas station though. And we need a second river, so I guess that's the one river, and then this is the second river. Yeah, I mean that looks pretty good to me. This off-road's probably unmapped. Curve might be too slight, but it looks like this road anyway, so I'll send it. Okay, yeah, it was wrong. Average rusher mapping with the river, but yeah, I was a car wash on a gas station. But yeah, I mean, this didn't line up perfectly, but at least I didn't get spilled. Maybe I should have scanned for the actual 5K because this didn't really line up, but it was this like east-west valley. 12 streak. Okay. Another interesting round here. We had a similar round earlier with like the flatness, very green. Yeah, kind of forested, not super forested. Quite sandy as well. More sandier than the last round, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Then we've got these birch trees that grow super close together. So with those, you're thinking like east of Chelyabinsk or Chelyabinsk and east of it. And you get them a little bit in like Eastern Perm or Eastern Bashkortostan. But yeah, they're pretty common in Chelyabinsk. Then with B antenna, you can rule out Kurgan for the most part. Shore antenna is pretty rare in Chelyabinsk, and the road is pretty nice, too nice for Chelyabinsk as well. And then road angle just makes sense for Tumen to me. It also looks like this road, but maybe the road angle is biasing me a little bit because the road angle is just too nice for this. So I guess I'll just send this, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, nice. 13th streak. Keep going. Okay. Another very distinct round, which is nice. This is turning out to be a really lucky uh, first seed of the video. uh, okay, so very hilly again. We've got some birch trees, some oak-looking trees, which we had earlier in this area. Uh, which I think we are in again. The trees make sense for it. The road's a little bit nicer, which might imply that we're on a yellow road. Uh, instead, wait, did we have this earlier, or were they the games I played before recording? I think we had this. Yeah. So then, like something like this would make sense with the mountains north. Yeah, and then white car would also imply east, and then overcast is nice for. Maybe this is like the foggy stuff down here, but I guess mountains south might be a little bit weird. I mean, it's fine. It should be here anyway. Okay, it was on the 5K. Should have clicked should have clicked the road, but that's nice at least. Okay. Uh okay. Nine. Okay, let's just read this first. Don't know my phone codes. I think that's a mobile number anyway. Well, I started learning my phone codes, but I don't know that. Kulim Lum. Uh, hmm. Okay, so this is C-type antenna. We've got a lot of birch trees, so thinking north. Not the same kind of birch trees as earlier, because the birch trees earlier like grew closer together at the bottom, like they almost like converged on the same spot. Uh, so that's something to note. What else do I have to say? C antenna is like north of Moscow, northwest of Moscow, and southeast of Moscow. Uh, just with how nice the road is, how straight the road is, reminded me a lot of Vologda, as you can see with these super straight roads. Like most of Vologda has pretty straight sections of road. Less straight the further west you go, but this section looks like a pretty nice angle for us here. Yeah. Yeah, super sunny as well adds to Vologda meta, but that's kind of fake. Sunset, I guess I don't know where the Vologda sunset is, but this road lines up. Also makes sense with how much cars we have on the road, because this is like a main road between two of the biggest cities in Vologda Oblast, or yeah, Vologda Oblast. So yeah, pretty happy to send this. I mean, maybe I should check it's not one of these border roads. It could be, but the angle is just too nice to not send this, I feel. To the west it curves north. Makes sense. Looks like there's some turns, but they look too close to the curve. That's a bit concerning. I still think it's Vologda, but maybe it's somewhere over here. But we'll send, I suppose. And it was here, okay. Maybe I just misjudged the distance, but okay, 24.6. Okay, this run is not getting submitted. I could have probably could have 5K'd this as well, which would have added 300 points. Okay. Next seed. Okay, this is another pretty distinct round to me. So long antenna, not blurred, unpaved road, massive rocks, which is the main thing. So these rocks would be most common in Karelia. Yeah, not much else to say. A lot of birch trees, so probably somewhat northern in Russia. Like birch trees, you don't really get south of like Voronezh is about as far south as you get birches. Some in Belgorod as well. And then you can get them in the mountains south, but this doesn't feel like high altitude to me. But yeah, the rocks is the main thing that would give Karelia here over something else. I'm notoriously bad at Karelia region guessing. So I'm just gonna send one of these roads. I mean, yeah, maybe it's not this yellow road. Maybe it's further south like this or something. Yeah, I'm really bad at region guessing this, but it should be. I mean, it looks north, but okay, maybe I'll go north. Make sure I'm still in Karelia. I don't want to throw on 15. Yeah, looks like Karelia. Okay, it was more south, but this road. Okay, yeah, but like yellow road in Karelia is unpaved, which is something to note. Like, this is like one of the only paved roads in Karelia. Okay, another easy enough round. This is this is like, I think this is second place world record now, but I've gotten like the easiest seeds, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so we've got the white rings on the trees for Kaliningrad, as well as pretty flat oak trees everywhere, long grass, just a Poland or Baltic feel. So yeah, not gonna try and region guess it. It was east, okay. Okay, another pretty distinct round, where we've got, let me look for Siberian larch, like a good example of one. Where's the best example to show you guys? I guess these, like these super like sharp trees. I mean, they're like kind of everywhere, but like they've got the sharp pointy branches with leaves that face like point upwards, uh, which is pretty distinct. And then they would be east of Krasnoyarsk for the most part. Uh, yeah, not sure what else to say. Yeah. And then with that in mind, so Black Car, so it's not super east. The road is like too wide to be this road that we had earlier. No Sakhalin cabbage, and it doesn't. Road is also too nice for most of Sakhalin. Well, it's too nice for northern Sakhalin, and southern Sakhalin always has cabbage. So therefore, we can rule out southern Sakhalin and all of Sakhalin. Not this road. I don't think it's here. I think it's the Chita side of this border somewhere around here. I'm gonna be really tilted if it's here, but uh yeah, it looks like this region. Most of this has Gen 4 on it. Uh yeah, I'm not good enough to 5k this. Uh I mean, maybe I can do it, but like I'm on a curve, so it's like, yeah, maybe something like this works. Yeah, I mean, I'll just send that and hope the river, maybe that's a river with the, because there's a guardrail suspiciously there. But I'm gonna send this anyway, and hopefully it's right. But yeah, blurred antenna driving west, very hilly road with larches would be this road. And it was a bit further over. My thing did not, oh, it curved to the southeast. Yeah, oops. Average script, I guess. Hmm. Okay, this is a bit of a 50-50 for me. It's Karelia or Leningrad. But we don't have as big of rocks as we had last time. So I'm leaning more towards Leningrad, but I am prepared to lose. Power line would also make a bit more sense for Leningrad. But yeah, we've got the same kind of like unpaved road, a lot of birch trees. The trees are much taller, so that's why I like further south, even though my region guessing like Karelia was horrible earlier. Uh, but yeah, I mean we have rocks. Am I really not gonna? I think I have to go Leningrad, but it could just be South Karelia, which would be quite unfortunate. Uh, yeah, I think I have to go Leningrad, just because it doesn't feel like any of the roads in Karelia, even though I'm bad with them. But maybe it's like up here somewhere. Uh, yeah. I usually don't check for it, but apparently there's like a Leningrad smudge that exists on most of the long antenna. So I'd like that for confirmation, but even if I don't see it, I'm gonna still send Leningrad, but I don't even know where the smudge is, so yeah. Rage, I suppose. Fuck. Well, this road in Karelia. But that looked, yeah. This is Karelia for you. So that, to me, that looked more south than this road, but it was more north, and I really didn't I just missed Karelia with rocks. But I mean, you got them in Leningrad, but skill issue. I'm just gonna finish out the seed. Quite unfortunate, but I don't think I would have beaten the record with this anyway, because I don't think I'm gonna get this correct. C-type antenna, quite sandy. Hmm. Not really sure what I think of this round. I'm not sure if this is like Tver or Veliki, or if it's Ryazan, or if it's just Moscow. Like it's like, to me it's either side of Moscow, but I'm not sure which side. Yeah, C-type antenna would confirm that as well. Uh, I guess these like short bushes are more of a Tver thing, but I'm prepared for this to be Novgorod or neither. Uh, what's the angle like? I don't know. I mean, we're on zero. I'm just gonna send. And it was it was this road that I scanned earlier. Yeah, southern Vologda stuff, but it was the super sunny stuff, which makes sense. Yeah, but yeah, those bushes were another thing. I'm kind of, yeah. This is a Russia moment where this is more south than this, which is quite weird. I mean, maybe some of these trees are too short. Maybe I should have gotten Karelia here, but it looks pretty Leningrad to me. Uh, yeah, still pretty nice. I mean, 18th streak, that should be second place on the leaderboard after Caro, so I mean, I'm not gonna complain, but disappointed that I didn't get 20. I'm gonna play out one more just in case, hypothetically. I mean, maybe I got this if I start scanning all of... I maybe scan all of Twer if I'm on a 20 streak, but yeah, I mean, I'm never scanning this, which is unlucky. Uh, okay, well, this is Karelia again, but this time it's like super north, like with how thin these trees are. Do we have any rocks? Yeah, we have some rocks. Thin birch trees. It's the nice road in Karelia, so it should be this one. Yeah, pretty far north. I went a little bit too far, but bro, this would have been okay. This record could have been insane. So this is Saka Republic. So we got like super dark soil on paved road. Do we have any Siberian larches or? I think there's some in the distance, but this is a bit of a hard round. But it's made a lot easier because of the white Google car. And then to me, it just looks like some of the roads near Maya, maybe. Uh, but yeah, and it was, yeah, but like, yeah, good luck finding that road. Uh, okay, red car, power line, decent Tomsk meta, thanks to Drupa for that one. But yeah, red car, power line is pretty safe to send Tomsk. We've got like eastern kind of grass, don't know how to describe it. Interesting flowers for Tomsk, but a lot of birch trees. We've got the same thing where they grow very close together, which I said starts east of Chelyabinsk. So, don't know which road I'm talking. Is it ever this? Okay, that's why I don't know the road. Uh, yeah, and this is probably where the streak would have ended. It's kind of a Volgograd Astrakhan 50-50, just like super dry, super dead wintry coverage. The presence of grass might make Volgograd more likely because Volgograd has April coverage, but Astrakhan has March. But this could be late March coverage or something. Wait, does Astrakhan have March or is it only February? I'm not certain. But yeah, that with like just like the winter coverage, no birch trees in sight, so that would make sense for Volgograd, and then pretty like depressing. That's not a birch, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know if there's street sign meta, but Russia is pretty not the best for urban metas. Car meta is all we got. So yeah, I'll just send Volgograd here. Uh, but I'm prepared for this to be something else south or even Saratov maybe. Oh yeah, it could be Saratov, but I feel like we'd have birches or hills. And it was Eastern Krasnodar. Makes sense. Was that southern vibe? It's pretty. Hmm. Oh, okay. Is that a hill? Because this town is pretty distinct with the hill north, but uh, you can't see it in all places. Yeah. But so yeah, this would have helped, but I don't think maybe we could have seen it, but I thought it was a roof. Uh, but yeah, I was not getting Krasnodar there. So yeah, that would have been the end of the streak at 20. What was it? What would it have been? 24 if I'd have gotten the Vologda and the Corellia, but you know, that was hard, I would say. As to where this is, don't really know. Kind of thought Western Orenburg, because it looks like pretty like sandy, deserty almost feel with this kind of reddish sand, and then the red soil would make sense, and then B type, uh, with like yeah, so B type, interesting hill west. Maybe it's I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna send fast. Sorry if I don't have the most in-depth explanation on this round, but we have been going for quite a while already. It was Western Orenburg, but I don't know what hill we were looking at. Yeah, it was like pretty like somewhat dry, but not super dry. And then B-type antenna, which worked for Orenburg, which is like the 2019 Orenburg was B-type and the 2018 was A-type. So then yeah, like all like the main roads are the yellow roads are 2018, and then like all the off roads like this are 2019. And I thought it was gonna be some off road here, but some off road here. But yeah, there you have it. That is pretty successful first Russia video, getting second place world record. But yeah, uh, might make another one of these in the future. We'll see. Uh, but yeah, bye bye, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.